Did Americans develop technology in the 1940s to send people into the planet's past, in order to alter the course of history? The answer is yes. From the book Mystery of Egypt, the first tunnel written by Radu Chinnamar, we learn that while at the temple in Jerusalem, Jesus was visited by a strange character. The following fragment is a part of the dialogue between Caesar Brad and Radu Chinnamar. First of all, I must mention, for those who have not read the book, that the extraterrestrial structure discovered in the Busegi Mountains in 2003 is connected through a tunnel with a chamber in the basement of the Giza Plateau in Egypt. In this chamber, called the occult chamber, there is a device of extraterrestrial origin with the help of which time travel can be achieved with the mind, or is a kind of device to access the Akashic records. Caesar Brad used this device and was able to see moments in Jesus' life, including the time when Jesus was visited by that strange character, while at the temple in Jerusalem. Here's what the book says. At that moment, Jesus was coming down the steps from temple. He was accompanied by 2 young women, and 4 of his chief disciples. I saw him stop and turn his head a little to the right, where there were a few people, then some extremely bizarre things happened. This section of events is neither described nor mentioned in any text, he told me. It seems that a strange forgetfulness of time has settled over those who were there at the time. I couldn't find out much either, and for a very strange reason, which I will tell you. As I saw at the scene, a little from above, I was somewhat to the left of Jesus. I noticed how he suddenly looked to the right, towards a small group of people, very attentive and focused. Out of them came a strange person, a man who seemed blond and rather unkempt in appearance. He gave the impression that he was very emotional, and unsure of him. He was sitting with his back slightly bent, and his right hand under his long shirt, under which his legs could not be seen. I remember that this was the first detail that caught my attention, because everyone else was wearing their clothes down to the level ankles. I noticed that the man was agitated, and kept looking away. Jesus took a few steps towards him, and said a few words to him, which left me perplexed. Jesus told that man that he did not choose the right time for what he wanted to do and that those who sent him will understand this. Then he added something stunning. He told him that he had to go right back where he came from, because there is a malfunction and that he is in great danger. The man looked Jesus in the eye for a few moments, then suddenly he softened and was seized with convulsions. They have exchanged a few short lines in a low voice that I didn't hear. Immediately Jesus withdrew among the people, and then 2 things happened simultaneously which I can't explain even today. A hissing sound was heard over the whole settlement, and almost immediately, many people gathered in front of the temple, at the foot of the stairs, asking Jesus to speak to them. I moved instantly, very curious, to see who was that man who made a discordant note among the other people, who had behaved so strangely and to whom Jesus had paid such attention. Well, the book does not say who that man was, who came to the temple in Jerusalem to meet Jesus, nor the purpose of the meeting. The man in question lives in the USA, and told this story in an interview with Dr. Michael Salla. His name is Stuart Swerdlow, and he was one of the children used in the Montauk Project. Project Montauk is one of the secret U.S. government projects carried out at Camp Hero, Long Island, New York from 1943 to 1983. As I said, the project started in 1943, around the same time as Project Philadelphia. Al Bialik claims to have participated in both projects, which indicates a connection between them. According to those involved in the Montauk Project, the technology used in the project is of extraterrestrial origin, and the project itself was allegedly run by reptilians. The Montauk device could open a time portal, through which one could travel with the physical body into humanity's past. Next we see Stuart Swerdlow's statement, as to why he was sent to Jesus' time. The purpose of the video is not to judge this man. We must remember that Stuart Swerdlow, at the time, was just an abused young man in the Project Montauk, and heavily mentally programmed, a puppet in the hands of people with negative intentions. The point is to understand that such things are possible, and I mean time travel with both mind and body, and that the worst aspect is that this Montauk time travel technology is in the hands of people who have negative intentions, as we can see. I wonder, if they tried to kill Jesus, who else from the planet's past have they tried to assassinate? Now let's see what Stuart Swerdlow says about Jesus.
So, exactly how old were you when you began being used in the Montauk Project? And do you remember any kind of trips or time travel experiments that you were involved in?
Yes, I began when I was 13 and a half years old. And it lasted until I was approximately 26 26, 27, I can't remember exactly. It was August 12th, 1983 when it crashed. So I was maybe 26 and a half at that time. And I was sent physically, actually, to the Middle East, to Europe, Caribbean. These are physical trips that I went on to monitor activities, UFO activities, mind control activities in those locations, for example. But there were also times when I was sent through the time portal to different locations. For example, and this is the part that many people kind of get flabbergasted about, is that I was sent back to the time of Christ. And I was sent back with a gun. And I was told to shoot him. And I remember walking to the base of this huge building with stone steps going all the way up. And there at the top of the platform, I don't know what you would call it, was the Christ person. And he looked at me and I looked at him. And it's like, I knew he knew why I was there. And I ran away. And I was brought back. And I was severely punished for not accomplishing that mission. Then, about a year after that, I was sent back to the time when he was on the cross. And I was given a medical kit, and I was told to extract blood from his toe while he was on the cross. And I did that. And I brought it back. After that, they sent me to the underground of Mars, where I was supposed to give the vial to the person who was there, because they were creating a clone of Christ that was going to be used as the second coming at an appropriate time in the future. So that's what I tell people. If you see, they say Christ's coming back, don't believe that, because this is the clone. At least that was the plan back then. And we won't, I think when the real one comes back, we will know. But this first one that comes back is not the real one.